Hello everyone, this is Sheila Shaffie and welcome back to another episode by ProcessArc. In today's video, we're going to talk about whether or not you should go and get Lean Six Sigma certification. This question comes up quite a bit by the people that we work with or the clients that we visit. And the short answer is absolutely. Given the opportunity, you should either seek out or get certified by the courses that are being offered by your company focused on Lean Six Sigma. Before we jump into the reasons why I think it's such an absolutely amazing opportunity to get this certification, let me just give you some guidelines around exactly the type of certification you should pursue and making sure that you're getting the most out of your time and financial investment. Because if you've been out there and looking at some of the prices around this training material, this is not an inexpensive endeavor whatsoever. So let's talk about the first thing to consider, which is what belt color you should go after. Now, I know that there's a plethora of colors out there: yellow belt, white belt, purple belt, but the two colors that are essentially fundamental core, the original belt colors when it comes to Lean Six Sigma are green and black. There is another level called Master Black Belt, but that's the highest level. It's kind of hard to get certified on that level unless you've already been either black belt or green belt certified. So the two that you should definitely consider if you have the opportunity to get trained and certified is green and black. I will make the case to dissuade you from going after any other belt color, because the other belt colors, yellow, white, purple, and pink, whatever else is out there, fundamentally doesn't provide you with the skill set, the training, the mindset, the confidence that you're going to need in order to drive change within the organization. Now, they are great if you want to have a cursory understanding of what this methodology is all about, but again, you won't have all the necessary toolkits and enough of an understanding around the platform in order to be able to come out of that training and certification environment and really drive some meaningful projects for the organization. So you're going to be essentially undertrained. And I feel like that's really doing a disservice to the industry anyway. I feel like companies send their people to get trained in these different colors and think that they are building bench strength, where in reality, all they're doing is just creating awareness around these methodologies. So colors of the belts out of the way, just make sure you're picking either green or black. Now, the question is, should you self-fund this? Should you pay for this yourself, or should you ask your company to pay for it? And that's kind of a tricky question. I don't think that you should self-fund any kind of training and certification, because that to me means that the company that you're working for isn't at a place to support you both financially and professionally. They may not necessarily understand the value of the certification and training that you're bringing back to the work environment with you, which means that you won't necessarily have the opportunity and the environment to practice what you've learned. And that's a real detriment to you, because in order for you to get the most out of your training and certification is by working in an environment that nurtures that way of thinking, encourages everybody to work the same way and problem solve the same way, so that you have the opportunity to constantly practice and feel safe if you make a mistake in applying some of the tools and principles, because that will surely happen. Think of your classroom training when it comes to Lean Six Sigma as kind of going into a closed door and learning about basketball theories. You can learn all the theories that you want in a classroom, but unless you are in a court, in an environment where you can actually practice the principles that you were taught, those ideas are just abstract and nebulous by nature. Lean Six Sigma training is not light, is not necessarily easy to absorb, and so you absolutely need to make sure that you're working in a company or a business unit or an environment that will encourage you to practice those principles and to, in that process, transfer that knowledge to everybody else within the organization. So that was a second item. Make sure that you've got financial support and professional support from the company before you go out there and start getting certified. Now, where should you go if your company decides, yes, I love this idea, we'll give you the funding and you should go for it? Well, there are lots of reputable companies out there that provide this type of certification. The one that we are affiliated with, and by the way, there's no financial compensation that's going to take place by me telling you the name of this company, is American Society for Quality. They are essentially the grandfather of quality training and education actually globally. They are everywhere in the world, and they are globally recognized as a brand. And if I were to go and get certified and it wasn't something that my company was going to bring in-house, I would absolutely consider American Society for Quality as a place for myself to go and get certification. Now, other than the company, make sure that the training you're going to get or the instructor that's going to provide the training to you has the industry background that applies to you. Meaning that if you're in a financial services environment, make sure, pretty please, that you don't go and pick a Lean Six Sigma platform that's been designed for manufacturing. Or if you're in healthcare, same concept. Make sure that the Lean Six Sigma instructor or even the course itself is designed for that sector. As you can imagine, the concepts that you may get introduced to in manufacturing or healthcare are going to be very different. The application, the examples are going to be very different than what may need to take place for financial services. So either the instructor has to have the background of that sector, or the training, technically, that's the ideal case, should be designed for that sector. So third element out of the way, make sure you're going after a reputable company to provide you with certification that is worldwide recognized, so that you actually have, you're getting credentials that have pedigree, and that your instructor comes from the industry that you are in as well, so that you make sure that the examples and the tools that they're giving you are the most applicable ones for your industry. Now, should you go for Lean or Six Sigma? Let's keep it simple, guys. You should just go for Lean Six Sigma training, not just Lean and not just Six Sigma, because it has been proven over the past 2 decades that the most optimal problem-solving platform is one where the two are actually integrated with one another, because one is solving for speed, which is Lean, and the other one is solving for quality when it comes to meeting customer expectations. So they have very different strengths and weaknesses. I've done an entire video explaining the weakness and strength of Lean, Six Sigma, Agile, and design thinking, and I will link it above. So make sure that if you're going to go out there, you're getting the combination of the two methodologies. And here's something to keep in mind, that when you go and get Lean Six Sigma certification, design thinking and Agile honestly will become a walk in the park for you guys, because the hardest platform to really learn and to wrap your mind around is Lean Six Sigma. Agile and design thinking essentially have deep foundations and deep roots in Lean Six Sigma. So once you get that out of the way, everything else is going to feel fantastic. Again, if you decide to pursue Agile and design thinking. So just feel great about the fact that by getting Lean Six Sigma certification and training, you have essentially covered a large plethora of the tools, critical thinking, problem solving, philosophies, methodologies, tools that are out there in the industry. So that's really the 4 things I want to make sure you consider before you decide to go and get green belt or black belt certification. I'm a big proponent, clearly, because I was trained in it right after I finished my engineering degree, and GE invested a tremendous amount of funds and a lot of people to get them trained and certified. But again, GE was an environment that encouraged that kind of thinking. It created an entire corporate culture around Lean Six Sigma so that people felt safe, but also had the environment to apply the tools and principles and continuously push for improvements around product, service, and cost efficiency. So there you have it. Those are my 2 cents around whether or not you should go get Lean Six Sigma certification. If you have any particular questions around the different belts, or where you should go get certified, or what you should do if you're in an environment that you know may not be 100% supportive of you pursuing this, please make sure you leave the questions and comments below. I'm always happy to respond. And that's it for this week. I look forward to seeing you next week as we continue our conversations around critical problem solving and innovation and all the lovely trends that are out there. Thank you so much, and I'll see you again next week.